Do you really believe that chasing women is the secret to success, or is it something else that truly makes you stand out? What if I told you that chasing women could actually cost you the very thing that attracts them in the first place? Your financial independence and self-respect. Welcome, gentlemen. Today I'm diving into a crucial topic that many men struggle with: chasing women versus chasing money. We've all heard the common saying, money can't buy love, but what about this? You'll lose money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. Sounds simple, right? But how does that actually play out in real life? Here's the truth. Many men spend too much time and energy trying to impress women, often neglecting the one thing that really commands respect: financial independence. Instead of focusing on building a solid future, they get distracted by short-term pleasures. But when you prioritize financial growth, your confidence skyrockets and the right women will naturally be drawn to you. In this episode, I'm going to show you why focusing on money, or better yet, building the kind of life that shows you respect yourself, is what will lead to lasting attraction and a much more fulfilling life, both financially and personally. I'm not saying you should neglect relationships, but when you chase money first, the right women will follow. Let's break it down. So if you're someone who's been caught up in the cycle of trying to impress women, spending more than you can afford, neglecting your career, and feeling frustrated with the results, this podcast is for you. And you'll understand why redirecting your focus to yourself, your ambitions, and your financial stability will naturally make you more attractive to the kind of women who truly respect you. Are you ready? Let's get started. Today on the show, we're diving into the world of economic indicators. These are the numbers that tell us how the economy is doing. Things like GDP, unemployment rates, and consumer confidence. But what do these indicators really mean? How are they calculated? And how should we interpret them? We'll break it all down for you, with the help of some experts, to make sense of the numbers that shape our world. Part 2. The cost of chasing women over money. Let's be honest, gentlemen. How many of you have found yourselves spending money on flashy dinners, expensive gifts, or doing things that aren't aligned with your long-term goals, just to impress someone you like? You know deep down that these things don't really matter to the right woman, but you do it anyway because it feels like the shortcut to getting attention. The problem is, chasing women by spending money or trying to win them over with superficial acts rarely leads to real respect or long-term fulfillment. You might catch their attention for a moment, but it doesn't take long for them to see through the act. The truth is, money spent on trying to impress women often goes to waste. You're essentially buying short-term validation at the cost of your own future. But it's not just about the money you're losing. It's also about your time and energy. Every minute you spend obsessing over what to do to get someone's attention could have been spent building something much more valuable: yourself. Think about it. If you're constantly chasing the next big date or trying to be everything to everyone, what happens to your career? What happens to your personal development? If you're putting women at the center of your focus, it's easy to fall behind in areas that truly matter, like your financial stability or your life's purpose. You're investing in things that aren't bringing you closer to your true goals, and this leads to distracted focus and lack of fulfillment in the long run. Let's take a quick example. Imagine you're spending your evenings after work chasing dates, buying expensive gifts, and going out to impress women. What if, instead of doing that, you focus those hours on learning new skills, building your business, or even just improving your health at the gym? That time spent working on yourself could directly translate into more financial stability, a clearer sense of self, and more respect from others, including women. But when you're too focused on impressing the wrong people or winning affection, through material things, you start to lose sight of what really makes you valuable. You've probably heard this before. True attraction is not about what you can give. It's about who you are and where you're going in life. Now you might be thinking, well, how does chasing money help me with women? Here's the thing. When you focus on building your wealth, your self-worth automatically increases. The more you focus on creating something for yourself, whether it's a successful career, side hustle, or personal development, the more attractive you become, not just to women, but to everyone around you. Money isn't the end-all, be-all, but it provides stability. It gives you the freedom to live life on your terms, which is incredibly attractive to the right kind of woman. Financial success isn't about buying affection, it's about proving to yourself that you're capable of achieving great things on your own. And that sense of confidence naturally attracts the type of women who value that. So let's put it simply. You can't afford to get caught up in the cycle of chasing after women at the expense of your financial and personal growth. It's a dead-end road. You're losing time, energy, and money when you could be investing those things into yourself. By shifting your focus to what really matters, building your financial stability, personal growth, and emotional independence, you set yourself up for a future where women respect you for who you truly are, not for what you can buy them. Next up, I'll share why chasing money is not just a smart move, but the best move for attracting the right woman in your life. Stay tuned. Part 3. The power of financial independence and self-respect. All right, now let's dive into the real benefits of focusing on chasing money. Not to buy women's affection, but to build your own worth. Women, and people in general, are drawn to those who are ambitious, driven, and have a clear purpose in life. When you're working on your financial independence, you're doing more than just building a bank account. You're building a future where you're in control, and that's incredibly powerful. Think about it. Ambition is magnetic. When women see you working hard, setting goals, and pushing forward in life, they start to respect you not because of what you can give them, but because of what you're doing for yourself. You're showing them that you're not waiting around for anyone to give you success or validation. You're creating it for yourself. That kind of independence is incredibly attractive because it signals that you are capable, self-sufficient, and grounded. Let me be clear, having money isn't the key to being a great man, but financial independence brings a sense of power and stability. Power, not in the sense of controlling others, but in the sense of control over your life. When you can make decisions without worrying about bills or where your next paycheck is coming from, you free yourself to focus on the things that really matter, like personal growth, your passions, and yes, building meaningful relationships. Women are attracted to men who control their destiny. A man who can stand on his own 2 feet and carve his path is inherently more attractive than someone who is dependent or constantly struggling. Financial success represents stability, and stability is a cornerstone of any lasting, healthy relationship. Women want to feel secure with a partner, not just emotionally, but in the practical sense too. If you're financially stable, it signals that you're capable of providing for both yourself and potentially others in the future. Now here's an interesting point. Financial responsibility also ties directly into self-respect. When you focus on building wealth, you're forced to take responsibility for your life. You can't just coast by on luck or short-term gains. You have to make long-term decisions, be disciplined, and plan for the future. This kind of responsibility creates a sense of pride in yourself. You start to see your hard work paying off, and that builds self-esteem. And here's the thing. When you respect yourself, women are much more likely to respect you as well. When you're financially stable and in control of your life, you don't have to chase women, because they'll naturally be drawn to you. You're not looking for validation from anyone, because you're already comfortable and confident in your own worth. Let's talk about the mindset shift that happens when you prioritize money over chasing women. It's not about being obsessed with wealth for the sake of wealth. It's about having a purpose. When you're chasing money, you're actually chasing something much deeper: the ability to live freely, to pursue your goals, and to be the best version of yourself. This is what ultimately attracts the right women. Women who respect your independence, your drive, and your ambition. You see, when you chase money in a healthy way, focusing on building something meaningful rather than trying to impress anyone, it leads to a sense of purpose. And women are attracted to purpose-driven men. Purpose gives you focus, direction, and passion, and when you bring that energy into a relationship, it becomes magnetic. In the long run, the women who are truly worth your time are not the ones you impress with flashy displays of wealth. The women who will respect you and value you are the ones who see the bigger picture. They respect the work ethic, the long-term vision, and the commitment to your own growth. When you focus on your financial stability, you're also building a future that will provide long-term fulfillment, not just quick fixes. It's the difference between gaining respect and simply trying to win affection. So, as we wrap up this part, remember this. Chasing money isn't about showing off to women. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, a version that women naturally respect and want to be a part of. You don't need to spend money to impress anyone. Focus on building your wealth and creating the life you want, and women will follow. In the next part, we'll explore why focusing on your money and your future is not just smart for your personal growth, but also crucial for attracting a woman who truly values you. Stay with me. Part 4. Why focusing on money attracts the right women. Now, let's get clear on this point. Chasing money doesn't mean you're just after wealth for the sake of showing off. It's about chasing a vision of the life you want to build for yourself and those you care about. When you put your time, effort, and energy into building something meaningful, whether it's a business, a career, or financial independence, you're building something that speaks to purpose. Women who are serious about their own lives and ambitions will be attracted to a man who has his own purpose and goals. Why? Because ambition and vision are powerful. They show that you're someone who isn't living day by day without direction. Instead, you have a clear sense of where you're going and a plan to get there. A woman who sees that will respect you because she knows that you're not just chasing temporary pleasures, you're chasing something bigger than yourself. You're on a mission. And mission-driven men are attractive because they are strong, focused, and purposeful. Here's the thing. When you're financially stable, you don't have to worry about money-related stress. Stress about finances can wreak havoc on your mental and emotional state. But when you're in control of your finances, you become a more emotionally stable person. You're not constantly distracted by money problems, and that gives you the space to focus on emotional maturity, which is something that women really respect. Imagine this. When you're able to stay calm under pressure because you have your finances sorted, it shows that you have self-control. A man with self-control doesn't get rattled by the little things. Instead, he remains focused and grounded, whether he's dealing with a work problem or a personal issue. Women respect a man who can weather any storm without losing his cool. Financial stability helps build emotional stability, and that combination is incredibly attractive. Let's be honest. When you have your financial life together, you automatically earn a level of respect from others, not just women. Financial independence shows that you have discipline, wisdom, and foresight. It means you can provide for yourself and for others, and that speaks volumes about your character. Women respect men who are reliable, dependable, and consistent, and financial stability is one of the best ways to show those qualities. But here's something else to think about. Financial independence also gives you freedom. Freedom to make your own decisions, freedom to live life on your own terms, and freedom to give back to others in meaningful ways. Women see this freedom and are naturally drawn to it because it shows you're not dependent on anyone, not even them, to live your best life. This independence allows you to choose the right partner, not out of need, but out of desire. When you don't need anyone to complete you, the women you attract will be the ones who respect you for the strong, self-sufficient man you are. Now, let's flip the script a bit. You see, the women who are attracted to men who are financially focused aren't just any women. They're the right women. The women who share similar goals and values, the ones who are on a journey of their own, seeking a partner who has his act together, emotionally and financially. These women are not looking for someone to financially support them, but they respect a man who is driven to provide for himself and contribute to the relationship. They want someone who can build a future with them, not just spend money on temporary pleasures. When you focus on building your wealth, you're setting yourself up for a relationship with someone who values what you bring to the table, not just materially, but also in terms of growth, stability, and vision for the future. So the next time you think about chasing money, remember that you're really chasing a better version of yourself. And when you become that man, a man who is financially in the next part, we'll talk about how to keep this balance in check so you're not losing yourself in the pursuit of wealth, but instead using it as a tool to build something meaningful. Stay tuned. Part 5. The balance between chasing money and building a relationship. Now, here's a very important point. Chasing money doesn't mean neglecting the relationships that matter most. A common misconception is that focusing on your career or financial success means you have to sacrifice meaningful personal connections, especially with women. But that's not true. You don't have to choose between wealth and love. The key is balance. When you're building wealth, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle, to feel like you have to constantly be moving forward, grinding 24/7. But here's the reality. Relationships take time. You can't just expect a strong relationship to happen on its own while you're chasing your dreams without paying attention to the people who matter. It's about finding that sweet spot where you can be successful in your career and still be emotionally available and present for your partner. This is the part where a lot of men go wrong. They get so focused on their success that they forget that relationships require attention, care, and nurturing. Money is important, yes, but genuine connection is just as important, if not more. Women want a man who can prioritize them, who can create space in his life to spend time together, even when life gets busy. How do you find that balance? It's all about setting clear priorities and boundaries. When you know what matters most to you, whether it's your career, your family, or your relationship, you can set the boundaries necessary to protect those priorities. For example, if you know your work requires long hours, you need to communicate that clearly with your partner. At the same time, you need to make sure you're making time for her, whether that's through regular date nights, meaningful conversations, or simply being present when you're together. It's about being intentional with your time. Sure, your business or career is a priority, but that doesn't mean your relationship should be pushed to the back burner. Instead, structure your life in a way that you can show up for both, building your wealth while simultaneously building a solid, healthy relationship. And don't forget, boundaries are just as important. A man who can set boundaries between his career and his relationship shows that he values both. For instance, if you're constantly working late, it's important to communicate when you'll be available and stick to those boundaries. This shows respect for both your work and your partner, and it makes your relationship stronger because there's mutual understanding. Now let's talk about something important: empowerment versus overpowering. The idea here is that money should empower your life, not overpower it. When you chase money with the right mindset, it becomes a tool to improve your life, not the center of it. You use money to create freedom, to make a difference, and to enrich your relationships, but it shouldn't be the driving force of your existence. There's a big difference between having money and letting money control you. Some men get lost in the cycle of constantly pursuing more wealth, thinking that if they have more money, they'll be happier or more respected. But true happiness comes from living in alignment with your values, maintaining balance, and building the relationships that matter. If you use money to empower your life, you're using it as a tool. It's there to provide options, create freedom, and offer comfort, not to define who you are or take the place of real connection. When you focus on your personal growth, your relationships, and your emotional well-being, you'll find that money becomes a byproduct of those efforts, not the end goal. As you continue on your journey to build wealth, it's crucial to remember your core values. Stay grounded in the values that made you want to pursue financial success in the first place, whether that's to give your family a better life, to achieve independence, or to create something meaningful. If you let money distract you from these values, you may end up feeling lost, disconnected, or empty. It's important to stay aligned with your purpose, even as your bank account grows. When you're true to your values and your vision, success will come naturally, and you'll attract the right people who see you for the man you truly are, not just for the money you have. You'll realize that authenticity and integrity are the keys to both financial and personal success. So while you're building your wealth and creating the life you want, never forget that relationships are the foundation of real happiness. It's the balance between money and love, purpose and presence that creates the most fulfilling life. Next, in the final section, we'll wrap things up by talking about how to sustain both your financial growth and meaningful relationships for the long term. Stay with me, We're almost there. Part 6. Maintaining Wealth and Healthy Relationships. Now that we've talked about the balance between pursuing money and maintaining meaningful relationships, let's discuss how you can sustain this long term. This is where the real challenge lies, keeping both your financial growth and your relationships intact as time goes on. The hustle never stops, and as you grow in your career or business, your life will continue to evolve. So how do you stay focused on sustaining success without sacrificing either one? First of all, commit to continuous growth. Whether that's financial growth or personal growth, staying stagnant in one area will eventually lead to dissatisfaction in both. A man who is always striving to be better, not just in his career but as a partner, as a father, and as a human being, will naturally attract respect, both from women and from others around him. You must embrace long-term thinking. It's easy to get caught up in the short-term wins, whether it's a paycheck, a promotion, or a fleeting romantic encounter. But true success in both wealth and relationships is about planning for the long haul. Set long-term goals for your financial health, your career, and your relationships. The key is consistency over time. If you put in the effort to build both aspects over time, you'll reap the rewards of a balanced and fulfilling life. Here's something I want you to remember. You don't stop working on yourself just because you've reached a certain level of success. Whether you've achieved financial freedom or found a great partner, the work doesn't end. Just like a business needs continuous effort to grow, your personal development and your relationships require ongoing attention. Self-improvement is a lifelong journey. If you're working hard on your career but neglecting your mental, emotional, or physical health, you're doing yourself and your relationship a disservice. Women respect men who prioritize their health, their mindset, and their personal development, not just their bank account. You should be constantly evolving into a better version of yourself, not just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of your relationship as well. As for your relationship, keep the same mindset. You can't just get comfortable thinking everything will stay perfect. Relationships take constant communication, adaptation, and growth. Both partners need to be committed to evolving together. That means checking in with your partner, having deep and meaningful conversations, and not letting things slide into complacency. Another key to sustaining success in both wealth and relationships is time management. As you progress in your career, the demands on your time will grow. This means making conscious decisions about where you spend your time and energy. A man who is successful both financially and in relationships understands that his time is precious, and he invests it wisely. Set aside time to recharge. You can't give your best self to your career or your partner if you're constantly running on empty. This means making time for yourself, whether it's through fitness, hobbies, or just quiet reflection. A man who is well rested, physically and mentally strong, will have more energy to give to both his financial pursuits and his relationships. Finally, let's talk about boundaries. One of the hardest things to do when pursuing success is learning to say no to things that don't serve your long-term vision. Whether it's work, friends, or even casual relationships, you need to be intentional about where you place your time and energy. Set clear boundaries with work and personal life. This might mean not answering work emails during your personal time or setting aside specific days for quality time with your partner. Make sure you're not sacrificing the people who matter for things that can wait. Time with your loved ones is invaluable, and you should never take that for granted. The same goes for your financial decisions. Money might be a tool for you to build a great life, but it shouldn't be the sole purpose. When you're clear on your priorities, it will become easier to make financial decisions that support your vision, not just in terms of wealth, but in creating a life that aligns with your values. Lastly, after all the hard work, don't forget to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Celebrate your wins, both big and small. If you've successfully built a thriving business or achieved financial freedom, take a moment to reflect on the journey and how far you've come. Similarly, if you've nurtured a meaningful relationship along the way, celebrate that too. Enjoy the balance. Go on vacations, take time off, and relax. These moments of enjoyment will serve as reminders of why you're working hard in the first place, creating a meaningful, fulfilling life for yourself and the people you love. It's about enjoying the ride and remembering that true success is about living fully, not just accumulating wealth. Part 7. Conclusion: Striking the perfect balance. So, here we are, nearing the end of our conversation. By now, I hope you've gotten a solid understanding of how to balance the pursuit of money with maintaining healthy, meaningful relationships. As we wrap up, let's just take a moment to reflect on the key takeaways. First, remember that money should not be the sole focus of your life. Chasing women through financial means may lead you down a path of loneliness, frustration, and even regret. But when you focus on building yourself, your wealth, and your purpose, women will be attracted to the man you've become, not just your bank balance. A successful man isn't defined by how much he has, but by how he handles challenges, maintains his integrity, and nurtures relationships. A man who values himself first and understands the true power of wealth will not only attract the right people, but he'll also create a life worth living, one that's fulfilling in every aspect. The key to all of this is balance. Money and women don't have to be opposing forces. In fact, they can complement each other if approached the right way. Build your wealth, work hard, but also nurture the relationships that matter. Give time and attention to the things that add value to your life, not just to your wallet. Remember, your relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, are the true riches of life. Money can't buy love or respect, but the right mindset and a healthy approach to both will draw people into your life in ways you never imagined. Above all, never forget that self-respect is the foundation of everything. A man who doesn't respect himself will struggle to gain respect from others, no matter how much money he has or how successful his career is. The key to attracting women and sustaining meaningful relationships lies in the value you place on yourself. When you're focused on personal growth, staying grounded in your values, and pursuing a purpose that's bigger than just wealth, everything else will fall into place. Women will respect you for who you are, not for what you can give them financially. They will be drawn to the strength, confidence, and integrity that emanates from a man who's living with purpose. So to wrap things up, keep pursuing your goals. Keep working hard, building your wealth, and focusing on personal growth. But never, ever forget the importance of your relationships, both with women and the people you care about. Balance is the name of the game, and once you find it, everything in your life will start to fall into place. If you found today's discussion valuable, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Have you experienced the tension between chasing money and maintaining meaningful relationships? How have you managed to balance both in your life? Also, if you're looking for more insights and tips, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm here to help you become the best version of yourself, not just in your career, but in your personal life as well. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, build your wealth, but never lose sight of the people who matter. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.